What's up? Thanks for watching. I am Kevin Zellman with your Idol recap on Q Hollywood for Get Real LOL. This is the place where you can get all of your entertainment news and your pop culture fix 24/7. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook and on Twitter. Now on to Idol, we have an absolute jam-packed show. It was the first week of the top 24, and they all sang solos and sang with a past Idol winner or contestant. So I'm going to break all of that down for you, and then after that, we're going to be joined by one of my good friends. He was last season's 4th place finisher. Rayvon Owen's going to be here with us as he just released today his first post-Idol single. So we're going to get the lowdown on that from him, so that's going to be very exciting. So the first half of the top 24 performed, and if you can't do math quickly, like how I cannot do it, that's 12 artists they performed this week, and they're all hoping for the judges to send them through to the top 14. And again, if you can't do math, they will be eliminating 5 contestants this week. So the first of the night was Stephanie Negrete. She took on Jessie J's Mama Knows Best, which is actually one of my favorite songs, so I was excited to hear her rendition of it. It's a very, very big song, and you have to have one heck of a voice to do it justice. And Stephanie has an incredible voice, but I don't think that she lived up to the standards of the song. What she should have done is she should have stripped it down maybe just a little bit and tailor it to her voice, and I think that would have been better for her. After that, she took the stage with Season 2 winner, Ruben Studdard, to perform a song that he sang on the show, Superstar. I'm sure you guys all know that one. And I don't have much to say about this performance because I thought it was very good. It was very solid. They worked very well together, so it was very fun to watch both of them on the Idol stage, especially to have Ruben back was great also. Next was Mackenzie Borg. By the way, guys, I was watching him sing, and he totally reminds me of Chris Allen. But he sang A Great Big World, Say Something, and he sang it in a way where he was able to make it somewhat his own while having it sound like the original version, which I really liked. As we saw from him in Hollywood Week, he knows how to arrange and he knows how to write music, so he might be one of the most exciting contestants that we have on this farewell season of Idol. Then he sang I Hope You Dance with season 10 runner-up Lauren Elena, who was hardcore crushing on him, first of all. At first, I thought they were they were mismatched for a duet, but as JLo said, it totally worked. Their voices actually really complemented each other. Genevieve Rose Mitchell was next, and she sang Angel by Sarah McLachlan. Genevieve has a very pretty voice, and she can definitely sing. I just have 2 worries about her. The first is that I hope the whole Hollywood thing doesn't get to her, meaning she's being thrown into this coming from living in the mountains and in who knows where it was. So she's thrown into this whole production. I just hope that she is able to grasp everything and not get too scared or intimidated by it. My second thing is that I don't know if she's able to withstand an hour to an hour and a half set of her own. Like if I was going to go to her concert, I just don't know if she's able to handle that herself. But her voice is so beautiful, so she's going to be very interesting to watch. I'm very excited to see where she goes. So for her duet, she was paired with season 10 winner Scotty McCreery to perform Gone by Montgomery Gentry. And the judges summed it up perfectly. It was just bizarre, guys. Did you watch it? I want to know what you guys thought about this. Jenna Rene, she sang My Church by Maren Morris, and she has a very powerful voice, and I enjoyed watching her on the stage. But for some reason, she's just missing something in her performance, and I just don't know what that is. I wish I did know so I could talk about it with you guys. I definitely would not mind to see her one more time and have a better idea of her. For her duet, she also sang with Scotty McCreery, and they sang one of his own songs, and it was definitely a solid performance, and she held her own against an American Idol, let alone Scotty McCreery. They're in the same genre, so it was good. James VIII was next, and he performed Love Lockdown by Kanye West. This is really interesting. The judges weren't the biggest fans of his performance, but I loved the performance. He completely rearranged the song to a point where I actually didn't really realize that it was Love Lockdown until the chorus came up and Love Lockdown, and like that whole part came up. He knows what kind of artist he is, and that's what can take him far in the competition. He performed with season 13 winner Caleb Johnson, which was a match made in heaven as they are both rockers. They sang the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter. James keeps saying how he has to get out of the mind frame that he is just the guitarist in the background. And unfortunately, on his performance with Caleb, I felt that he was performing like with Caleb in the background. I wanted him to show off his guitar skills, which is what he did, and and what he should have done is that at the second half of the song, he should have come up from behind the mic and the guitar, put the guitar down, and then just come out and join Caleb center stage and just really rock it out. We needed to see him loosen up a little bit. Sonika Vade was next, and she performed Safe and Sound by Taylor Swift and the Civil Wars. Her voice is, I think, one of the most beautiful voices in the competition. Her falsetto was unbelievable. I could listen to those falsetto notes literally all day long. J-Lo said that she has to pick songs that Sonika is able to connect better with, and she needs to get that emotion into the songs, which I completely agree, but her performance is still great. So now for her duet, she also performed with Caleb Johnson as well, and they sang Skyfall by Adele, which if you guys watch my previous shows, you know my thoughts on singing an Adele song. It's the kiss of death, let's be real. Caleb and Sonika did better than I thought they were going to do on the song, but it unfortunately didn't thrill me like I was hoping it was going to, but I don't think that the judges are going to take them performing their duets into consideration to go to the next round. Next was 15-year-old Gianna Isabella, who took on I Put a Spell on You, not by Hocus Pocus, but by Annie Lennox, and she belted it out. I thought it was one of the best performances of the night. The only thing is that her age didn't match the song. I feel like she may have been too young to take on that song, but she then sang with last season's winner and a friend of the show, actually, Nick Fradiani, and they performed his coronation song, Beautiful Life, which I always get stuck in my head, actually. It's kind of funny. So it was a very fun performance. I wish I was able to hear Gianna belt it a little more, like how she did with I Put a Spell on You, but it's okay. We know that she can do it. Then Emily Brooks, she sang I Am Invincible by Cassidy Pope. I felt the song was in the wrong key for her. I wanted her to do well because I firmly believe that she can be another Carrie Underwood. If she chose a different song, I think it would have made all of the difference for her. And I think that the judges would have liked it a little bit better also. So for her duet, she sang Lauren Elena. We welcomed her back to the stage. And this was a perfect fit for Emily. Ironically, they both performed a Carrie Underwood song, and Lauren told Emily that she needs to show off her personality more, and I totally agree with her. That worked for Lauren, and Lauren told her situation with that also. The song was good. It was nothing special. I wanted more from Emily this week. I don't think she delivered as much as I really wanted her to. I'm a fan, though. Avalon Young was next, and she sang Love Yourself by Justin Bieber, which was a great song for her. She was really one of the only singers to get the entire crowd involved. And something else that I thought was unique, she started by sitting down on the stage. And you never really see that in the top 24. So that just shows you how comfortable she is on stage. Obviously, we've had Fantasia and Katharine McPhee perform sitting down, but that was far into the competition. She knows exactly who she is, Avalon, and she shows the confidence that I think is so good for young girls to see watching the show. She sang Flying Without Wings with Ruben for her duet, and Ruben actually sang this song during his finale. Their chemistry was so great on stage, and it was a very solid performance. I keep saying that, I realize that. But it was. It felt like it was an actual duet rather than just two people singing. They had their parts, Avalon had hers, Ruben had his. It worked out well. Jordan Sasser performed All By Myself by Celine Dion. I thought his vocals were great, but I think Keith said, or I agree with Keith, he said it was way theatrical, and I totally agree. There was way too much happening. It was very Celine, but I don't think it was good for this stage of the competition. For his duet, he sang with Season 3 winner Fantasia, and they performed the song that she sang after she was announced as the winner, I Believe. And the performance, it oddly really worked out. I thought it was a really weird pairing at first, but it ended up being a great performance. I thought that he totally held his own with Fantasia, which as we all know, it's not easy to do as Fantasia is so unbelievably talented. Thomas Stringfellow, aka the guys that all the girls are swooning for, took on Creep by Radiohead. He has such a unique voice, and I love it. He's one of my favorites. He knows what he's able to do with his voice, and he masters it. He can easily make it far in this competition for sure. So for his duet, he performed Man in the Mirror with Nick Fradiani, and Nick actually sang that song last season, which was Nick's season, I'm sure you guys know. And Thomas was saying how this song, it was kind of out of his wheelhouse, but I'm going to disagree with you, Thomas. You sounded great. I love having a little switch up, and you need to have that a little bit each week so that the audience doesn't get bored. So I definitely think this is an avenue that he can explore. Absolutely. I thought it was great. The last performance of the night, guys, was Leah Rene. And she not only sang it, but she performed. She took on Tina Turner's Proud Mary, and she did all of the classic Tina moves. It was a great performance. But I want to see who LaPortia is. I don't want to see LaPortia as Tina Turner or anyone else. That's something that I hope that she's going to show America going forward if she advances. That's one thing she needs to keep in mind. Now it was judgment time. As you know, 12 performed, but only 7 are able to make it through, and those people are LaPortia Rene, Gianna Isabella, Thomas Stringfellow, Avalon Young, Sonika Vade, Mackenzie Borg, and the last one to make it through is Genevieve Rose Mitchell. So now that the last week of Idol has been covered, it's time to welcome Rayvon Owen to the show. Rayvon, thank you so much for joining us today. How's everything been, the life been, since an Idol tour has ended, actually?
Yes, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Life has been pretty good. I mean, we did the whole Idol tour, of course, as you know. And then I started doing my own touring and spot dates all around the country. So people were calling me left and right to come, sing the national anthem at the NFL game or, support this charity and event, did so many concerts and festivals and things like that. So it's been insane. And when I'm not on the road, I've been back writing and recording, getting ready for my new record.
Well, your single came out today, Can't Fight It.
Yes.
How exciting is that for you?
I'm super excited. I mean, it's my first single since being on Idol, and it feels like, I mean, it's not my first single ever. I did my first EP in 2014, but so it's been a while since I've released original music aside from the show. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, it has a very special place in my heart, and we worked really hard on it. So I'm excited for people to hear it.
It's a very unique sound, which I really like to the song. How did you come up with that?
I love electronic music. I love soul music. I love I love to combine kind of I kind of, my voice is naturally more soulful. But I've been loving I've been digging into so much, EDM and like dream pop and synth pop and, all these new artists, like Troye Sivan and Betty Who, but I still love kind of the rawness of, say, Sam Smith or John Legend. So I was like, how can I bring, these influences and obviously still be myself, but kind of sprinkle a little bit of this and that kind of into this big mixture.
Yeah.
And that's what I've come up with, and I think it really it puts people in a cool vibe or good mood and really accents the lyrics, because obviously that's the most important part. So It's like, how can I support the lyrics, of what I really want. So
what was the inspiration behind the lyrics for you?
It's the song is we kind of wanted to. And it's kind of interesting. It seems like it's a running theme in my life of just like surrendering to, relationships or to who you are or whatever the case may be. So I kind of wanted to describe an experience that I've gone through and of fighting a situation, because I mean, you know how it is. It's like we're so busy in the entertainment industry, and we don't want to, we don't even want to go down that road. Like, oh, I'm scared to be in a relationship, or I've been hurt before, and so I thought that was something people can relate to. So I was working with an artist named Mylan, who's amazing. You guys should check him out. And we kind of came up with this idea of like of describing that kind of scenario where there's obviously something there, but you're acknowledging it, but you feel the love or you feel the connection, whatever, but you just don't want to quite 100% go there. And so this song, my goal with this song was to capture that moment of like, okay, of that moment of release. So like, this is it, like, let's just do this, and so that's me like singing to the other person to like convince them to meet me at this point.
Do you plan on touring with this single and then hopefully the album when that comes out?
Yeah, so right now I'm kind of in the works of putting together some shows. So I think I'll unofficially say we'll start with like kind of just some like a smaller tour, like just hit like major cities like New York, Nashville, LA, Richmond, Atlanta, just kind of hit the major spots. Um, and then uh, when the fall, like later on this year, probably like in the summer or something like that, we'll start doing more tours, and then we'll do a college tour in the fall.
Cool.
So there's a lot of touring planning, and the rest of the EP will be out by then. Like so, we'll be doing another single and more songs and more music. So.
Do you have a date or a time frame in mind for when people can hear the album dropping?
I don't have an exact date yet. I'm letting this kind of roll out organically and kind of see how the first single does and letting the I'm always a big fan of because I'm definitely a planner. I like to plan and get everything in order, but I'm also a big fan of just letting things kind of roll out organically and naturally, and whatever I feel led to as an artist. Like, what do I want to share? What do I want to say at this point in time? So I'm thinking we're thinking the end of March is kind of when a full EP will be out. So
nice.
End of March, beginning of April time frame.
That's awesome. And I want to talk about the Idols tour because when the people know that was the last time I saw you, like based on my YouTube channel and everything. What was the whole tour experience like for you with the five of you? I know you guys have such a great relationship. So is it just constant fun 24/7 with you guys?
Oh my gosh. It literally the most the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. I would do it again and again and again. And I will do it again someday on my own, but just doing it, I can't even imagine even my own big world tour being as fun as going on tour with these guys. Because you have to think, like, we've got, the top five, we went from, we've been doing this. By the time the tour ended, from the time, like, I auditioned to the time the tour ended, it's like a year of my life, And so, going to Hollywood Week and going through all the rounds and stuff with them, we became so close. We became such a tight-knit group. And particularly when it gets down to, the top 10, 9, 8, 7, like, we get so close. And so when the five of us hit, like, when we knew we were all going on tour, it was, it's just like a little family. Like, we still have a group chat to this day that's just going constantly, and just jokes and craziness. But tour was so much fun. We just had a good time. Like, we were enjoying the fans. It's cool because we've kind of been in the idol bubble, when you're on the show. So you only get to, you see like the live audience, and when we're out and about, we may run into people who are fans and stuff, but not anything to this capacity of going to sing in front of thousands of people every night that are coming to see us and that are excited to meet us, people who have been watching us through the entire journey. So that was really cool. That was something I've never experienced before. In the schedule, we just waking up in a new city every day was like insane. I'm like, where am I today? I'm just like, I get out of my bunk and I walk out of the tour bus and I'm like in a totally new city.
That's awesome.
And it's pretty incredible experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
When you're doing the whole idol process, did you actually know like Nick, Clark, Jax, and Tiana going through Hollywood Week and everything, or did you meet some people like once you got down to the top 24 or top 12 because there's like 200 artists there during Hollywood Week?
Yeah. You mean like from the very beginning, like Hollywood Week and stuff? No, it's interesting. You definitely, there are people that you kind of. There's so many people, so you just like gravitate towards certain people. But looking back, I definitely remember like seeing them and hearing them sing. Like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. So it didn't surprise me. Like looking back, I'm like, watching Clark sing Tribal Tenderness, or seeing Gianna just get up there and belt it out. I'm like, yeah, these are most likely gonna be like one of the top finalists. But yeah, you're so like it's such Hollywood is such a whirlwind, but I don't remember actually, I guess, hanging out with them until maybe the first time we probably had more conversation was probably at the end of the week, the very end of the week when we found out we all made it to like the top 48, and then but really more so when we came back from for the House of Blues round with the top 48 went to the top 24, and that's when we really start to kind of get to know people, get to know personalities, because once the room gets smaller and smaller, the personalities show more and more.
Right.
So, but yeah, I remember, you know, really like, I guess out of all of them, probably, well, Clark, I guess Clark was actually my roommate from everything outside of Hollywood on. So from the top 48 down to the very end, Clark was my roommate.
Oh, wow.
So I knew Clark well, and we had no idea we'd make it all the way to the end. But I'd say outside of Clark, I guess Nick was the first person I kind of gravitated towards.
And what was one of your favorite moments from being on the show?
That's a good question. I mean, it's every day was such a different experience, you know. Gosh, that's so hard. But it's funny. I get that question a lot, but I still stumble to answer because there were so many amazing. I mean, definitely, obviously, like performing was, like the adrenaline that you get. Like I just remember, getting called up or having to sing with the singer and like walking up to the mic and like just that moment, I would just take that, that 20 seconds or 30 seconds while they were playing the video and, I would just say a prayer and just breathe and stuff. It's really nerve wracking, you're like, everything's happening so fast, but I remember those moments and I remember them, but I vaguely remember them at the same time. But that's that's why we were. And it was cool to think like, okay, so many people are watching sing right now. Like that's an amazing thing. So I would say besides that, and then like honestly, some of the stuff that happened behind the scenes, like with the contestants, those were some of the most fun moments. But I would say tour was less stressful. So got to. There was no competition anymore. We just got to do what we did on the show, but do it for fun and do it because we deserved to be there. So those are some of the even more fun memories made was actually on tour.
Did you have a favorite judge?
That's a tough question too. I love them all for different reasons. I would say. I like them all for different reasons, and it was like I'd say love hate because for lack of a better word, not love hate like I didn't hate him, but Harry I like loved him, but he was also like the hardest on me and like the toughest on camera, you know what I mean? But also the nicest off camera. So, but he's one that I really have respect. I mean, I have respect for all of them, and again, I love them for different reasons, but. He was the one that I've had, I guess, the most interaction with. I've seen them all since being on the show, too, and I've talked to them all. And they're all really, really great people. It's cool to see people of that status and of that caliber so genuine and humble because you hear, horror stories of just people being awful, these A-list celebrities who are just mean, but all of them are so nice. But Harry is definitely, one of my favorites. And he... Yeah, for different reasons, but also I was like, why is he so tough on me on camera? Like, stop, So it was like a love-hate relationship with Harry.
Guys, make sure you go and download his single. Next week, we are going to be revealing the 12 artists that will perform for the judges, and they will also be singing with past idols, like how it was this week. So expect to see, get ready for it, guys, Chris Daughtry, David Cook, Haley Reinhart, Constantine Maroulis, Kelly Pickler, and Jordan Sparks on the show. They'll be singing with the 12. And by this time next week, we are going to know who our top 14 artists are. So guys, you know the drill. Tweet me at Kevin Zellman using hashtag #IdolRecap so we can talk about American Idol all day, every day. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you guys next week.